Hello, everyone. I'm sitting here in South Africa with Roger Duffield, CEO of Protex Pharma, formerly known as Protex Mobility. Thank you for joining us today. So, Roger, the company has a new name.
Good morning, everybody. We recently filed our name change with the state of Delaware. And so going forward, we are now Protex Pharma, which better reflects our mission and business going forward.
Great. Well, for those of us who are new to the Protex story, the company is comprised of two wholly owned subsidiaries, Plant-I Biotechnology South Africa and Cannabis Biosciences. Roger, can you elaborate on the business?
Yes. Plant-I Biotechnology South Africa is engaged in the research, development, clinical testing, and commercialization of highly bioavailable botanical products from live plants, which contain all the natural ingredients, and these are formulated for pharmaceutical applications and produced under pharma-grade conditions. And as you can imagine, we have a lot going on both subsidiaries. So rather than talking about both companies, I want to focus today on Cannabis Biosciences and where we are as relates to the South African government issuing the license. So the background on Cannabis Biosciences is that this company, which was incorporated in 2013, is focused on developing cannabis extracts for medicinal purposes under legal government licenses and permits, which the company is currently pursuing with the government of South Africa through the Minister of Health. On receiving that license, this will allow us to grow, cultivate, extract, test, and produce highly bioavailable extract containing a full profile of the plant, which includes the cannabinoids and the polyphenols in a non-psychoactive form. We believe as a company this is a world game changer, and this is why. There's only a handful of licenses issued on a global basis to what we're going after, of which GW Pharmaceutical is the principal player in this industry.
When you talk about it being a game changer, while other people have a license potentially, or people are out there producing cannabis-based extracts, no one's claiming to have a full profile, non-psychoactive product. Can you maybe explain to us what a full profile cannabis extract is? And when you say non-psychoactive, most people, when you say that, they think, okay, well, this is a hemp-based product, it's a CBD product, everyone's got that, why are you different? Maybe you can talk to that a little bit, Roger?
Yeah, the cannabis plant contains 103 known cannabinoids, of which the two major molecules, THC and CBD, which are the dominant phytonutrients in cannabis, those are the two that are eagerly sought after because you can recover them in high volumes. And so the industry of medical marijuana that supplies you with everything from a cookie to a biscuit to smoking it to drinking it to whatever contains primarily one or both of those ingredients. But what has happened is that the other 100-odd cannabinoids have been disregarded. And this is also the same for GW Pharmaceuticals, that also produce a medicinal product called Sativex, but that only contains THC and CBD. So the difference between everybody else in the industry and Protex Pharma is that, one, we have a revolutionary technology that will allow us to recover all the cannabinoids and all the phytonutrients in that plant, and we can retain them and deliver them in an oral delivery system. and in a non-psychoactive form. And why it's in a non-psychoactive form is because the THC and CBD are only converted from the acid form to the full molecule form when it's dried or when it's heated over 100 degrees. And we do neither in our process. So we expect to deliver a full complex of all the cannabinoids without psychoactivity for multiple wellness applications.
Roger, you mentioned earlier about getting a license in South Africa. Can you maybe explain what are the ramifications and the upsides of getting this license, what it means to the company, how this came about? I think people are asking us, how is it that a little company in the middle of nowhere, South Africa, is able to achieve what Big Pharma hasn't in getting a license? Maybe you can talk a little bit about the license, its ramifications, and how this all came about.
We started on a journey with Dr. Mario Ambrosini, who was a member of Parliament, the South African Parliament, who brought to the Portfolio Committee a private members bill for legalizing cannabis for medicinal purpose. And Mario was suffering from cancer and has subsequently died. And at that time, the government would do nothing about it. In March of this year, the government had a turnaround in their way they wanted to utilize cannabis, and a law was passed that now legalizes the use of cannabis for medicinal purposes. But that's only the start of the journey. And so, because of our background here in biotechnology and our investments in our other businesses, the government is fully aware of who we are. We have a very solid relationship with the Minister of Health, who's been pursued by us for over 3 years, and our legal team to obtain this license. And we were caught out of the blue when, in the end of March, we were contacted by the Minister's office to advise that they wanted to grant us a license. We subsequently submitted new documents, and we are now waiting for the next stage, which is the inspection by the government inspectors from the Minister of Health that will validate our premises are suitable for this project. That will then go to the Portfolio Committee, and then we expect the license to be issued sometime next month. I think you also have to understand that the government themselves, because there's a lot of cannabis grown illegally in this country, they are looking at the other side of this responsibility, where we have the potential to declassify a Code 6 controlled substance to a Code 6 by the fact it's non-psychoactive. And the government, through the Minister of Health, have indicated clearly that they will assist us where they can, especially with the World Health Organization, that administers these global rules once we have the science and we can prove that it's non-psychoactive. That to us is a world game changer. That will allow us to sell this product freely throughout the world, which is an amazing opportunity. So that's why this little company that you have alluded to has been given such a big opportunity.
What happens after you receive the license? What's the next step?
Well, we have the premises secured. We will install growing tunnels. We will bring in our equipment, lab equipment, all our processing and manufacturing and extraction equipment, and we will produce an extract on site. So we have to adapt this building. That's going to take 2 or 3 months before we're ready to go. Then we will grow the cannabis. In the meantime, we'll put in all our system for producing the extract. And we would expect by the end of this year, we should be ready to produce an extract.
And how long will that take?
Well, if all the pieces fit, which they never rarely do, 6 to 8 months. 8 months, I would think we would have a product for in vitro mouse studies.
So that's
If all
that's 8 months from today, or 8 months after you start, after you have the
8 months after we get the license. Yes.
Okay, thank you. Now,
Because we've done all the work. You must understand, we've done all the work. So it's a matter now of putting the building blocks in place and now proving what we know we have. We've got to now prove it.
so what's the product actually going to be? What are you going to produce, and how is it different than anything else on the market?
Well, first of all, it will be a complex of